What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers right now have what seems to be their roster intact, set. Lakers are still active in the trade market. They're still linked to several free agents. Right? Again, there's a lot of time between now and training camp. A lot could still happen. But there is this question of where do the Lakers rank right now amongst teams in the Western Conference? Marcus Smart recently came out and said that he believes that the Lakers are a top contender. And I get, what is he supposed to say? No, Lakers are cheeks. No, he's going to be no, Lakers are one of the best teams. But he's a guy that could be a major difference maker for the Lakers. He's exactly what this team needs, right? He slots into a role. And I want to talk about the Lakers being a contender, right? Of course, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, so let me know down in the comments. But I don't think it's that far-fetched, right? I think it's very possible that the Lakers are one of, if not the best teams in basketball. And I do think that there's a lot of factors and a lot of things that have to come together in order for that to happen, right? But I don't think it's crazy, right? Again, last season, the Lakers were everybody, even Laker haters were like, man, Mark Williams, that's it. Give the Lakers the championship now. And it's if the Lakers had a center, would they have won the championship? If they get through Minnesota, they're at least in the conference finals because they beat the Warriors, right? So they get into the conference finals, and then who knows what happens against OKC. Lakers seem to have OKC's number during the regular season. Now, regular season playoffs are very different things, but again, who knows what would happen? Obviously, we can't go back in time and know, but the Lakers got a better center than Mark Williams, and people are like, oh, Lakers still trash. What? I don't know where that logic comes from, but it's not even just DeAndre Ayton, right? It's all of the factors that accumulate, right? It's JJ Redick being better from year one to year two because he's going to learn from the mistakes he made. He's going to better adjust, better adapt. He's going to be more comfortable out there. Again, that raises the ceiling slightly. Luka, people forget who Luka is, and don't worry, he's going to remind everybody. People act like Luka's the 20th player in the league. This is a guy that even last year was still a top 5 player in the league, and he's going to be healthy, motivated, hungry. Talk about a top 3 player in all of basketball. This is going to be the first year that we're actually going to have a full training camp offseason, right, where him, LeBron, and Austin Reeves are going to be able to figure stuff out, where there were moments where it looked like, hey, this is brilliant. And then there were times where it looked a little awkward, a little clunky, because it was just kind of thrown together. The Lakers were the 3 seed last year with 5 iterations of this team. Essentially, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Luka came in unhealthy, right? All of this, and we still ended up being the 3 seed. Right? Now, I understand. People look at it and go, teams got better. But how much better did, Houston? Houston, look, they had an amazing offseason, but they didn't solve their biggest problem, which was scoring. Yes, Kevin Durant is going to help a ton. Don't get me wrong, especially in those close games. Right? He's going to be a guy that can do it. He's 37. If Kevin Durant went to the Lakers, everyone would have been like, he's injury prone, 37 years old. People, look, he's trash. But he goes to Houston, everyone's like, man, give Houston the trophy now. But they didn't solve their scoring issue, right? Yes, he's going to be more consistent than Jalen Green was. So yes, they will be better, right? But again, they're banking on Şengün raising a level. They're banking on Amin Thompson raising a level offensively. They're probably going to be the best defense in basketball, but you need the balance. They were already one of the best defensive teams in all of basketball last year, but they couldn't score. They had their trouble scoring, and they're relying on Kevin Durant. There's a lot of what ifs for Houston. Denver, I actually think Denver's the team that got better than anybody. Denver's the one team I look at and go ooh, that might be tough. But even then, right? I think Cam Johnson is a better natural fit, but the ceiling isn't as high with him as it is with the Michael Porter Jr., right? What does that look like? Bruce Brown, I think that's an excellent pickup. But when I was talking about Bruce Brown being a Laker, everyone said he was trashed, washed up, and why, Tyler, you're delusional. Why do you want Bruce Brown? But he goes to Denver, and all of a sudden it's what a great move by Denver. Been talking about Bruce Brown for 2 years. And everyone's like, oh, but when he went to the Lakers, if he would have went to the Lakers, he was trash. But now that he goes to Denver, people are like, dude, guys, man, that's the move. Right? And then Tim Hardaway Jr. Right? Tim Hardaway Jr., again, he's been a journeyman. He's good in moments. He has stretches, but he can be inconsistent. He can be all over the place. And then Jonas Valanciunas, I think, is solid, but defensive liability, right? He's not a rim protector. Teams are going to have a field day when he's in the game. So again, there's questions with all these top teams. There isn't a Kevin Durant, Warriors team out there. right? There's not a team that's just clear-cut, far and away better than everybody. I mean, even OKC, who probably will be better because they have the experience, but they were beatable last year, right? They weren't like, they should have lost to Denver, and Denver had like 4 guys healthy during that stretch, right? And yet they pulled it off, and give them credit, right? Teams are going to be gunning for them. But we've seen, like, the Lakers aren't that far off. Lakers made a lot of good moves, right? Like, people, see, I think the problem is a couple things. I think, one, people look at guys bought out, right? And because they were bought out, it's like they're worse players, right? But if the Lakers would have went and traded, like, if the Lakers traded for DeAndre Ayton, the narrative would have been very different. People would have been like, oh my God, like, Lakers just got their center. Oh, like, but because he was bought out, people are looking at it as like, oh, he's trash. That's why he was bought out. But are missing the, like, 1, he didn't want to be there. 2, Portland, it didn't make any sense for them to keep him. 3, teams weren't going to rush to trade for him because of his contract in the new CBA. Like, him being bought out was based on circumstance, right? Same thing with Marcus Smart. Didn't make sense for Marcus Smart is getting older. He wants to go to a contender, right? Gets to go to Lakers. But if the Lakers would have traded for Marcus Smart, which a lot of people wanted the Lakers to trade for Marcus Smart, everyone would have been like, oh man, like, that's the move, right? And don't get me wrong, the Marcus Smart acquisition is looked at in a much favorable light than the DeAndre Ayton one is. But DeAndre Ayton literally is, if you couldn't mold a better center for Luka Doncic than DeAndre Ayton, right? Again, it really boils down to how do the components fit? How do they kind of structure, right? But like, Rui Hachimura was really good, and he was one of the few guys to show up in the playoffs, right? DeAndre Ayton is a proven playoff guy. I mean, look at him in that Lakers series. I mean, he was averaging like 23 and 12 or something like that. Like, the guy was fantastic. So he's a guy that shows up in the playoffs, and he's going to be set up by Luka all game. Jake LaRavia is the guy that I think everyone, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Jake LaRavia is our starter like midway through the season. He was already a B+ rated defender and already a great shooter and scorer, averaging 18 a game with Sacramento before he got hurt. And now he, like, the one thing they were like, what did you work on this season? And he was like, defense. Like, I'm improved defensively, right? That's what you want to hear. Like, we need a legit 3-and-D wing. We might have that with Jake LaRavia. I think the problem is a lot of people don't know who Jake LaRavia really is, because most people just, most Laker fans only watch Laker games and watch Laker teams and stuff. That's why, many people are like, hey, I don't know about this. I get comments all the time, which is great. Like, right? Like, people want to know, hey, who is this guy? I'm not familiar with this guy, right? So it's not like a knock, but I think a lot of people are sleeping on Jake LaRavia and not really talking about him because they're not familiar with him. So they just assume that, like, oh, he can't be that good because he's not talked about very heavily. But he's also 23 years old and was looking very good. And now the Lakers got him for cheap. That could end up being the solve to their answers. Jared Vanderbilt, right? You're going to have a full season of him healthy, right? He didn't look the same last year. He had his struggles. He missed a step because he was coming off of injury and missing significant time and had foot surgery on both his feet. Now he's going to come back. He's going to be fully healthy. He finally gets an offseason to work on his shot and work on his game, right? He did that 2 seasons ago. Had the one game where he actually, I think he was like 3 of 4 from 3 or whatever. And we were all like, oh, Jared Vanderbilt's going to be a 3-point shooter. And then he got hurt. So, like, we don't know, like, what he looks like healthy again, right? And I'm not saying he's going to be elite. I'm not saying he's going to shoot the lights out. But if he can just be serviceable, that could solve a lot of Lakers' problems. Lakers have depth. They have talent. I mean, even Gabe Vincent, who I think is the odd man out, and I think that they need to trade. But still, right? Like, even if they don't, he still was coming alive towards the end of the season, right? He's now going to have a full offseason, a full training camp, full preseason. He's going to be healthy, right? Like, all of these factors play a role. I understand. People look at it and go, it's a lot of what ifs. Like, what if DeAndre Ayton buys in? What if, Marcus Smart stays healthy? What if, but that's for all teams, right? Houston, what if they can't score, right? What if Kevin Durant can't play 70 games for them? What if he's not healthy come playoff time? Knock on wood, I don't want to see anything like that happen, right? What if Denver's worse now because they got rid of Michael Porter Jr., who on any given night go give them 30, and teams have to worry about more and can take guys off the dribble and is just more offensively versatile than a Cam Johnson, right? Like, what if, Bruce Brown doesn't help them? What if, Tim Hardaway Jr. falls out of rotation? Is Jonas Valanciunas, is he even going to be checked in because he wanted to leave and go to another place? He wanted to go play overseas, right? What if OKC just had that run? We haven't had a repeat, contender in 7 years, 8 years, right? Like, again, like, you look at the East, like, outside of Cleveland, right? Like, there's no team that I look at and go like, man, like that team is like New York, all of them. I think the Lakers beat any of those teams. Even last year, I think that they beat any of those teams. Right? So again, I don't look at this and go like, oh man, the Lakers are so far away. The Clippers, right? Let's talk about the Clippers. Amazing depth, versatility. I mean, look, Clippers on paper might be the best roster, right? But again, you got a lot of old guys. You got a lot of injury-prone guys. You got, Bradley Beal hasn't been a model of health. James Harden disappears in the playoffs and hasn't been a model of health. You got Kawhi Leonard hasn't been a model of health. Also, yes, every team wants to be 13 deep. But you have to find minutes for guys. And now guys start getting itchy. And now guys start going like, hey, dude, like, I could be a starter on a team like the Lakers. Or I could be a sixth man on this team over here. And now I'm the 12th, right? Like, so again, like all of us, there's so many what ifs for all these teams. Like Cleveland looked like a team that was guaranteed to go to the NBA Finals and was running through the league, right? And what happened? They didn't even come close, right? Like, again, it happens. You don't know until the season progresses. So to just write off the Lakers like they're this trash team when they were the 3 seed last year and got the ideal center, that alone would have made the Lakers better. And then also got a legit 3-and-D wing and Jake LaRavia that can play either forward spot. Added Marcus Smart. Oh, yeah, and they got a hyper athlete, Adu Thero, who might actually be the answer. Because he's, 6'7", 6'8", hyper athlete, can jump out the gym, defend 1 through 5. Right? It's just, can he give you something offensively? At worst, he might be another Jared Vanderbilt, which, hey, I would love to have another Jared Vanderbilt. Also, even Jared Vanderbilt and the concerns with him, right? He's going to be more impactful and not going to get played off the court as much if he gets back to being the Jared Vanderbilt we know, right? Because last year he wasn't quite there. So it was kind of hard to play him because he wasn't as impactful as he was in previous years coming off injuries. But if we get that, the conference finals run, Jared Vanderbilt, he'll be able to stay on the court more because of Luka, right? Because with Anthony Davis and LeBron, they want the paint as cleared as possible, right? So LeBron James can put his head down and then kick out to shooters, right? That's what he likes to do, bully his way to the basket. When the Lakers won the conference or the in-season tournament, right? How did they do it? They just put Anthony Davis and LeBron on the block and ran everything through them. Well, you can't do that when you have Vando and all these guys that can't shoot because Anthony Davis and LeBron want to live in the paint, right? But with Luka Doncic, he's fine with the traffic. Teams pack the paint. Luka doesn't care. He actually prefers that because he wants to create that dribble penetration. He wants to collapse the defense and have the outlet for the lob or the kick out, right? And if they don't fully collapse and they kind of play it safe, then he just shoots over the top and scores. He doesn't care. He's a jump shooter, right? Like Anthony Davis isn't that. He can knock down shots and shoot over the top, but the same thing with LeBron, but that's not their game, right? Luka, that's his game. He can just, 5 guys in the paint, I'll just shoot over all 5 of them. Like, it's no problem. So, again, don't sleep on the Lakers. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.